What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 summary preview analysis. Today, guys, we are going to be going over the summary, the cast list, and the preview for episode 57 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. I'm excited, as always, to get into the summary preview analysis with you guys, so without further ado, let's not waste any more time, and let's get right into it. So here we go, guys, the episode 57 summary. The title of it is called The Fourth Assailant Cometh. Gakuto was asked to help out with a kendo tournament, so he went to the kendo hall with Yuga and the others. However, there was no one there except Goha Euron, the third eldest brother of the Goha siblings. In this silent, empty hall, a kendo rush duel between Euron and Gakuto will now begin. The cast list, we have Yuga, Luke, Gakuto, Roman, Kaizo, Swirly, Euron, Eugene, Yuka, Yuo, Doll, Proprietress, Nail, Tiger, Rons, Renosuke, Shinken, I think that's how you're supposed to say that, Kokesuke, and then Ryu, and then extras. But that's going to be it for the summary and cast list for episode 57. General thoughts. I'm actually pretty excited for this episode because I think we're now starting to get a little bit down the territories of unpredictability now. Because I will say this, it started to look like this series was going to be very predictable, but episode 56 threw a wrench into that because what the result that we got in the last episode, you know, Yuka being able to beat over Roman and give the Goha siblings their first win over Team Yuga, we now have a very good chance that Euron in this episode, which is the fourth Goha sibling that we're going to be seeing in action, face off against Gakuto. And that actually, I really do like the fact that it's a little bit more unpredictable because I was very nervous going into this specific duel because I think everyone could have predicted that Euron and Gakuto were going to be the ones to duel. I mean, or after what ended up happening with Rook versus Eugene, because that basically set up the entire matchup. I thought there was a good chance that Rook could have dueled Eugene, but I think this one is going to fit a little bit more, especially since it looks like Euron's entire thing is going to be kendo and all that stuff, and I feel like that's definitely going to fit Gakuto as well. So this is going to be a very interesting duel. Kind of similar how also like the last episode, you know, Roman is definitely more of the athlete of the group and was really good at baseball, and that's how she was able to fit with Yuka in that whole duel. Now you have Gakuto with this duel. But it's very interesting of what they can do in this episode, because obviously, if I were to say what I would want to see, I want Euron to win. I want them at the end of this, before we get to Yuo, I want the score to be tied right now, 2-2. And the way to do that is to have Euron win this duel, which, yeah, it gives Gakuto a loss, but he's been such on a good streak so far that having him lose one duel, because remember, he has not lost the duel since, I believe, episode 11, I think it was, when he dueled against Roman. That was his last loss in this entire show. So for him to lose this episode, just like with the last episode where I don't think it hurt Roman to lose that duel, I don't think it hurts Gakuto at all if he ends up losing this duel against Euron. As if Gakuto wins against Euron, it depends on the scenario, because I don't think like Yuga and Rook beating Euro, and Eugene, I don't think it hurt their characters at all. I think they're still pretty fascinating characters, and I think Euron can still have that, but I think for a story-wise, in my opinion, it just makes more sense to have Euron win this duel. And going forward, whoever duels Yuo, I think also getting it to a situation where if Yuo wins the next duel as well, and they get in the lead, it will make Team Yuga's group realize that, oh, we're not these big bag heroes as we thought we were. We need to make sure that we step up on our A game, because they have just now gotten ahead of us. And even with this episode, like, if Euron wins this duel, they're going to be like, oh shoot, they are catching up a lot quickly. Like, they cannot underestimate these characters. And that is something I wanted to see, because looking back at the last duel, if Roman had won that last duel, this show would have just been predictable for the entire rest of the show. I feel like that last duel basically set the tone of how these Gohan siblings were going to be throughout this show. And with the fact that Yugioh won that duel in the last episode, now it sets a presence of maybe we can actually show some of the Gohan sibling strength. Because when it came to Yuro and Eugene, they didn't really care to be the presidents. All they really cared about was, like in Yuro's case, he just wanted to ride his hovercraft and flow in the wind, as I guess you would say. And in Euron, or Eugene, excuse me, he just wants to be in the sea. That's all his purpose is that he just wants to be in the sea with the sea creatures and all that stuff. So honestly, those two weren't really into it. Now, to be fair, I don't really know what Yuka's whole stance of being a president is. All I know is that she does not like what Yuo is doing right now. I keep getting their names mixed up. Jeez. I mean, all of them have U names in them, so it's bound to happen one of these times. And also, we've only been with them for like, what, 3 episodes now? Well, this is going to be the 4th episode. Technically, I know we got introduced to them a little later on, but, you know, it kind of gets mixed up sometimes. But it's really interesting because I don't know what Yuka's whole stance in this. I don't know what Euron's whole stance. We don't even really know much about Euron. All we know from the bio that we got is that he is a reserved character. He's reserved to himself. So that's really all we got with this character. So I think this is the chance to maybe make him stand out a little bit more. But like, this is his spotlight now. He gets to show what he's capable of. And I guess with him being like this more mysterious character, it might let loose something to the point where he's going to be able to overpower Gakuto. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But in my opinion, I really do hope Euron wins this duel. I really do hope so. Just for the sole reason, I would love the fact if they go into the whole Yuo situation where we actually get into Yuo and what he can do. We have the scores tied. Yuo ends up winning his duel, and they end up getting the lead just out of nowhere. And that makes the group realize that, oh shoot, we need to step our game up a little bit, and we need to try to get ahead of these kids or these presidents, or else we're in trouble and we're about to lose rush duels. Because I look back at some of the other arcs, they didn't have any worries. I mean, in the maximum arc, not one of the villains other than the main one, Nail, won their duel. So I feel like with this whole thing and the potential of having them at an even stance, I really do like that, and I really do hope they continue that going forward with Euron winning this duel. But that's just my opinion. I think the only other thing to really talk about is that Tiger's returning, which is pretty interesting. I don't know what her whole thing is. Maybe like she's going to be kind of like a teacher at the kendo area because, you know, of her whole thing as well and her whole character. So that just makes sense. I don't know about the other 3 characters on the bottom. They don't look familiar to me, to be completely honest. I don't know. Nita Ryu sounds like one of Yuga's friends. I don't really remember them that well. They were the kids in the first opening, you know, that was running with Yuga down that hallway. Maybe those 2 kids at the bottom of the cast list, maybe that's who those kids are, though that means I don't know who the heck Shinken is, but we'll have to wait and see. I really have no thoughts on it because I really don't know who those characters are going to be, but I'm still excited nonetheless. But guys, with all that being said, that is going to be it for this summary preview analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought of this summary and cast list, and let me know what you guys' thoughts are on Gakuto versus Euron, and who do you think is going to win? Do you think Gakuto is going to win this duel? Do you think Euron's going to win? Or do you think it's going to be a draw or a no result? And what is your thoughts on Tiger returning? I'm very excited to see Tiger back in the show again. I don't think we've seen her since season 1. I think in the last episode was the last time we've actually seen Tiger really just on camera. So it's going to be really cool to see what her whole thing is in this episode. So yeah, with that being said, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, guys, take care and have yourselves a great rest of your day.